Hello, this is Yannic Mulder. Welcome to my vlog about skills versus capacities, speed and agility. This vlog is divided into 4 parts. In the first section, I'm going to assess the acceleration phase of 2 different athletes. Part 1, speed, acceleration phase, skill issue. In this drill, I asked the athlete to accelerate as fast as possible. In this starting position, she shows good posture. The first steps are very powerful. In this frame, we can see a very nice triple extension and good running posture. Her form remains very stable. From the frontal plane, we can see her right leg internally rotating and causing a so-called valgus. With her left leg, she shows the same pattern. Although this pattern is particularly common, especially for young women, I will further assess it because it can become a problem in stability or in force production. In this stage, I was still unsure if I had to deal with a skill or a capacity issue, or just a normal movement pattern. In this next coordinative drill, I let her perform an overhead high knee walking lunge with an aqua bag of 3 kilograms. The aqua bag is filled with water and enlarges mistakes. We can see clearly that she has difficulties in maintaining her form and is getting into the valgus pattern like we have seen before. It is still not sure if this pattern happens because of a lack of skill or capacity. The lack of capacity can come from weak abductors or weak external rotators, so I assessed both. In this abduction exercise, she showed good form on both sides. In the next external rotation exercise, there were no issues found. Because she shows good strength in both her abductor and external rotators, I suspect mainly a skill-based pattern. To improve her movement pattern, I would use these exercises as preparation drills to activate her glutes. Next, I would use specific movement drills to improve her movement pattern. I will now show a few of these drills. This drill is a foot plant from a kneeling position. The dumbbells placed on both sides of the athlete are constrained to keep her femur from internally rotating. This next drill is a standing progression of the foot plant. She already shows some improvement in performing these exercises with less valgus motion. To conclude, I think this athlete will really benefit from these coordinative and constraint-based running drills. Further testing will have to prove if her acceleration has improved. Part 2. Speed, acceleration phase, capacity issue. The athlete is asked to accelerate as fast as possible. When we have a good look, we can see the upper body moving a lot. It is moving up and down, and it has some slight rotations in it. We can see he is pulling up his shoulders, probably to create more force. After the first acceleration phase, the movement already becomes more stable. So let's focus on the most critical part, the acceleration phase from stance. In this view from the sagittal plane, we can really see nicely where his upper body movement comes from. In this next frame, marked by the yellow line, we can see that the athlete is falling into spinal flexion. When he moves on, we can see the same pattern again. He comes from a straight spine and gets into spinal flexion when the left leg is in the striking phase. Because the problem happens in the phase where the most force is required, I suspect a capacity issue. Because this spinal flexion happens, I suspect a lack of strength in the back muscles or in the abdominals. In other words, a lack of core stability and control of the pelvis. In this drill, I try to solve the problem by using a simple constraint of the stick. The stick is used to be aware of the body alignment. We can see that the stick does not really help him. He still has a lot of unnecessary upper body movement and drops into spinal flexion again. This makes my suspicion of a capacity issue stronger. In this push-up drill, we can see that he has a problem in engaging his abdominals and glutes. This is causing him to lose his posture and get into an anterior pelvic tilt. In this preparation drill, I let him perform some anti-flexion shoulder presses. We can see that he has difficulties maintaining a neutral spine and fully extending his shoulders. In this overhead RDL to footplant drill, the athlete holds the stick above his head. The task is to maintain the neutral spine position the whole movement, so the athlete is activating the back musculature to avoid spinal flexion. He has to get into triple extension before he makes the footplant onto the box. In this variation, we replace the stick with a 2.5 kilo weight. The weight actually helps him to co-contract his back muscles and abdominals, which improves his form. To conclude, if the athlete learns how to engage his core muscles into dynamic movement patterns, he will move more stable and he will become faster. Section 2. Agility. Deceleration phase. Change of direction. Skills versus capacities. Part 3. Agility. Deceleration. Change of direction. Skill issue. We can see the athlete performing a tennis-specific spider drill test. The goal is to complete the test as fast as possible. Let's have a look at it in slow motion. Marked by the yellow circle, we can see that she is using a two-step strategy to change direction. A two-step strategy takes more time than changing direction with one braking step and turning straight away. Even when I asked the athlete to perform a one-step change of direction, she could not do it. To assess whether this pattern is due to a lack of skill or capacity, I let her perform multiple tests. The first test I used is this counterweight single leg box squat. The task is to perform the eccentric phase slowly and controlled, and to perform the concentric phase a bit faster but still controlled. Despite the valgus motion on both sides, which we discussed earlier, we can see that she is still able to control the movement during both the eccentric and the concentric phase. Because of this control, I'm leaning more towards a skill issue than a capacity issue. Because the issue has to do with deceleration skills, I let the athlete perform single leg lateral deceleration hops. Although her movement is fairly stable, she is struggling a bit with her stability due to the valgus motion of her knees. To improve her deceleration and change of direction skills, I would let her practice the single leg squats and deceleration hops without the valgus motion. I would also let her practice the change of direction pattern from slow to fast. In this tennis drill we can see that she is able to change direction efficiently at a lower speed. Part 4. Agility, deceleration, change of direction, capacity issue. In this same spider test, we can see that the athlete struggled with the change of direction. He even has a moment where he almost falls down. In the first change of direction, we can see he is using a two-step strategy. In the next change of direction, he suddenly uses a one-step strategy. He seems to use a two-step strategy with his right foot and a one-step strategy with his left foot. The red line shows the earlier assessed spinal flexion. In this next change of direction, he tries to use a one-step strategy with his left foot again, but he misplaces the foot. This causes that he almost falls down. To assess if the difference in change of direction in both legs is due to a lack of skill or capacity, I used the same single leg squat test. Because the better change of direction pattern on the left side, I would expect a stronger left leg. In this test, he actually is showing some lack of control in the left leg. As he is showing the same instability in the right leg, it is hard to say why he uses different strategies for both legs. To become better at decelerating and changes of direction, he should improve his leg strength. Although at a lower speed, he actually shows some good lateral hop deceleration skills, both on the right side and on the left side. To conclude this vlog about skills versus capacities in speed and agility, I like to make clear that it is sometimes hard to distinguish between skills and capacities, as they are both very related to each other. This is the end of my vlog in skills versus capacities, for speed and agility. Thank you for watching.